Okay, so let's jump right in. Today we're doing a deep dive on a really, frankly, chilling strategic assessment.
It is. We're looking at the sovereign stability of the U.S. and the E3, so that's Germany, France, and the U.K.
And the lens for this analysis is Yuri Bezmenov's framework, his 4 stages of ideological subversion.
Which is a Cold War model, but the sources here argue it's been accelerated. They have this term for it, digital compression.
Right, so what used to take decades, demoralization, destabilization, crisis, and normalization, now happens in just a few years.
And that leads to the core finding, which is, well, pretty stark.
It is. The assessment is that we're in a systemic phase transition. The U.S. is apparently already in stage 3 crisis.
While the E3 nations are in late stage 2, which is destabilization, they're right on the precipice.
So that claim about the U.S. moving it into stage 3, that's a big jump. I mean, stage 3 implies things are getting kinetic, right? Not just psychological.
Exactly. It means you're moving into hot conflict. What specific evidence do they point to for that?
They point directly to the No Kings movement. Specifically, the No Kings, the second mobilization back in October 2025.
And the numbers there were, what, pretty massive.
7 to 8 million people. The source calls it a counter-mobilization of historic proportions. It's the moment the social contract, fundamentally breaks.
So while you have that happening in the streets, you have the administration preparing for the next stage, for normalization.
How so?
Through what they call institutional decapitation. It's being done via Schedule F.
Ah, Schedule F. This is the reclassification of tens of thousands of federal jobs, isn't it?
Yes. They become political appointments. It effectively repeals the Pendleton Act of 1883. You can be fired for loyalty, not for merit. It's a complete paradigm shift.
It's removing the brakes on the system. And this all ties into the psychological collapse they measure with the epistemic rupture.
The Narrative Dissonance Index, the NDI.
And the score is critical, a 9.1 out of 10.
So what that really means is you have this massive gap between the official narrative, the administration's golden age story, and what people actually believe.
Right. When 2/3 of the population, 66%, thinks the country's on a wrong track, you've lost all trust. Reality itself becomes fractured.
Okay, so now let's go over to Europe. The E3 is in stage 2, destabilization, and Germany is the poster child for this.
The fiscal defense paradox. They're caught in a trap.
A trap they built themselves, really. They have the constitutional debt brake, which is legally binding.
But they also have this urgent need to hit a 5% GDP defense target by 2035 to meet, actual security threats.
And they just mathematically cannot do both. It's classic policy paralysis. The system can't adapt.
And then there's France, the financial weak link.
A debt-to-GDP ratio of 114%. That's high.
It is. And the market's fear gauge that spread between French and German bond yields has widened to 79 basis points.
And for anyone who doesn't watch the markets, that's a huge red flag. It means bond traders are actively pricing in the risk that France could, default.
So the E3 are all kind of waiting for a cascade, relying on a U.S. security umbrella that's looking more and more shaky.
So that's the core vulnerability then, this reliance. What's the trigger that pushes them from stage 2 into stage 3?
It's a dual shock, according to the sources. 2 things have to happen together.
Okay, what's the first one?
U.S. fragmentation. The stage 3 chaos there means the dollar stops being a safe haven, and that triggers financial contagion.
And the second shock?
A projected decisive Russian military victory in Ukraine. Suddenly, the security vacuum left by a distracted America becomes undeniable.
And that's the moment of truth, the convergence. You get a French bond spike, a financial crisis.
And a security crisis when the U.S. can't credibly invoke Article 5.
Yeah.
This is what leads to the rise of the hypernationalist axis.
So you're talking AfD in Germany, RN in France, Reform in the UK.
Exactly. Their entire platform becomes about one thing: national survival.
So to synthesize all this, the sources are essentially saying that the 2026-2027 window is the end of the 80-year experiment of the West as we know it.
The U.S. is on a path to authoritarian normalization, while Europe faces a systemic collapse of its geopolitical, economic, and democratic orders.
A complete breakdown.
Which leads us to the final thought we want to leave you with. This analysis predicts a move toward a Europe of nations, a system defined by hard borders and national security, not by the liberal consensus.
So the question to really ponder is, what does the rise of this intense focus on national survival do to the very definition of democracy itself over the next decade?